I thought it was over. After what happened yesterday, I went, alright, nothing to see here, pack up your bags, I'm out until the game is out, good luck, have fun, but no! Official reviews for the Crown Tundra have been released, and we are getting new information about the DLC at the last minute. So we gotta go and talk about that today. If you end up enjoying it, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts on these new details down below. So let's get into it. Coming from Poke Experto, the reviews with the Crown Tundra have already been published, and we got some new images. So I mean, the new images, not really too much crazy stuff. Alright, they're showing off Galarian Slowking. That's expected. And I think that this is really funny. Looks like we just kind of like stumble into the fight between the legendary birds, and then it's just going on in the background as we're having some kind of dialogue. That's funny. I like it. And also when you see a peony and you can like kind of watch these stories unfold just from like the trailers and the official information, I guess they're going to insert some comedy in there, and it's going to be kind of cute how these adventures play out. So if it's actually a lot more lighthearted, not just like, here's story, enjoy the story. You guys wanted story? Well, here's a DLC that's 4 stories. Good luck, have fun. No, it's not going to be like that. It looks like it's just going to be, you know, it's going to be an enjoyable experience. It's actually going to be some heart and some passion put into it if this is like just a cute little moment. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Other than that, I don't think this is like super new. This is like from the trailer. Everyone's just chilling. We got some fun stuff. But already, instantly into the information, skill patch is obtained as a reward in the Dynamax Adventure. I wish there was more details than just that. Like, is it a rare chance from any of the adventures? Is it a rare chance after you get the legendary? Is it guaranteed after you get the legendary? Or like maybe it's like what? Okay, here's the thing. You can only catch each legendary once. That's an incredible disappointment because of how diluted and how worthless legendary Pokemon have become. That's like, oh, yeah, just let the hackers and Pokemon Go transfers and Pokemon Home transfers just have a massive advantage over players that, you know, are playing the modern Pokemon game. I don't think it's going to be bad if you can catch an extra Giratina or anything, but it's a little disappointing. However, if you like repeat catch a legendary or repeat encounter a legendary, is that how you get the skill patch? Or is the game just like, nah, it's super easy, it's super free, we want these out there, we want them everywhere, that way you can go and make a competitive Pokemon, which I also find kind of weird. Like, they make it to where competitive Pokemon are so free, but then some of the other things are so restricted. Either way, this is our answer. I thought it'd be a reward from the Galarian Star Tournament, and that would be like the only reason to play in the Galarian Star Tournament. But if you're doing Dynamax Adventures, sometimes you get skill patches. And now, you know, Hidden Ability Dracovish, Hidden Ability Legendary Pokemon. You just have the accessibility right there, baked into the game. I like it a lot because one of my favorite things is that if you just play the game and you're rewarded and everything just kind of comes together. I really like that about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. That's also the thing about the Isle of Armor, that if you're chilling in the Isle of Armor, it's like, oh, I get some mints over here, get some Armorite ore over there, I do some raids, get some Watts, Digging Paw, boom, competitive Pokemon, let's rock. So it's cool, but like I said, I just feel like now the quality of life has dropped off in a weird way, just with Game Freak's inconsistency about the legendary Pokemon. Pokemon follow you, just like they do on the Isle of Armor. We already knew about that, but it's neat. Then, to participate in the Galarian Star Tournament, you must have completed the following: main story, Isle of Armor, and the Crown Tundra. I feel like this was also confirmed information at some point where, like, maybe even in the like June trailer, where they're like, oh yeah, once you beat the game, then you can do the Crown Tundra. Or not the Crown Tundra. Once you beat the game, then you can do the Galarian Star Tournament. And I saw some people getting it confused, like, oh, you have to beat the game to do the Crown Tundra, and that's how the legendaries work. But I thought they were getting that confused with the information about just the Galarian Star Tournament. It makes a lot of sense, like, how can you face Leon, or how can you actually battle again at Rose Stadium without becoming champion? And by the time you've done that, then you might as well have also engaged in the rest of the DLC. So it's like ultra late game. You know, you have to do everything before you can do that. So there better be some banger rewards. And since it does have the ability patch, I don't know then. So we got this. Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres will be moving throughout the Crown Tundra, so you have to go and look for them. Not really too much of a surprise. I thought that was already, like, figured out to a degree. Like, oh, they're just going to be roaming legendaries. See a bit of that in the trailer as well. But yeah, then we have a picture. Like, I think that's going to be cute. Oh, wait. Looks like they noticed us. Oh, that's going to be extra cute. I think this is going to be a fun story. And if they keep that... Oh, Were they fighting? You just kind of like stumble into it, and then they're just like, dip, and then they'd fly off to areas, and maybe that's how you like kind of pursue them in the story. You look around like, oh, Articuno went that way. I'm gonna go that way until I find the Articuno. But yeah, I think that's funny. They're having their little scuffle, and they look, it's like, a boy, run. So we got this. Only one player can swap the max raid Pokemon for their own at the end of a Dynamax adventure. You can choose to go out with your Pokemon or the legendary Pokemon. What are the endless Dynamax adventures? I'm more interested in that. Like, do you just keep going with the endless Dynamax adventure? Do you get to keep your legendary Pokemon or what? And I also find that strange. Like, you can go out with your Pokemon or the legendary Pokemon, and you only only one person gets to swap. So yeah, we already knew about that kind of mechanic. That's a draft. After you beat the raid, you get to swap out one of the Pokemon. It wouldn't make any sense if everyone just kind of swaps out their starter Horsey or Charjabug, and then you get a team of like 4 5-star Scavalier to then roll through everything, and you just avoid the fighting, or not fighting, you avoid the flying type ones. So, or fire, Jesus, can't even talk. So I'm wondering if like, that's a thing, but then it's weird. That's like, yeah, you can keep the Pokemon you found if you really like that, or the legendary. But that also means that the other legendary, or not the other legendary, the other Pokemon you got, you don't get to keep them. So like, what happens if you find a shiny in Dynamax Adventures, and then you have to turn down the legendary for it? That's weird. Also, it's another thing I don't like about this. It really makes it sound like the legendary Pokemon are going to be shiny locked, or else it's not fair. Like, what happens if I go through a lot of Dynamax Adventures, I'm shiny hunting for Giratina, I see like 10 of them, and I'm just like, fine, I'll finally catch this one, and then the next one's shiny, but I've already caught it, so I don't get to catch it anymore. Dynamax Adventures feel like they have like some weird things going on, and I don't know if it's for balance or what, but just kind of doesn't have like a lot of consistency. I don't know what happens with Dynamax Adventures, anything else, so yeah, you can also just kind of keep the Pokemon you find instead of the legendary. Alright, that's a thing, and this did not get translated. The media has only been able to see 30-minute gameplay of the Crown Tundra. This is what happened with the Olive Armor, which is also why, you know, I don't know how I should feel about what happened. You know, I woke up, it's like, oh, now we have media things to break down. Well, that's what happened with the Olive Armor. Like the day before, maybe 2 days before the Olive Armor came out, they did the same thing. They got to see 30 minutes of it. They got to give a little bit of a highly curated review of the Crown Tundra as like some kind of preview, give a little bit of gameplay thoughts, we learned a little bit of new information, and then that was it. So they emphasize that the story of this DLC is developed more than the Olive Armor. We already know that from the data mine, not the leaks. Please don't give me a strike, Nintendo, because the data mine shows like the stories, and there's going to be 4 things going on and some extra little details. But on top of that, it's like, alright, not like a super amount that they were able to do, and it doesn't seem like they played directly because of it. That also makes us wonder where the leak is coming from of the full game. That might actually just be a double, like an actual double copy, and the press might not have anything to do with it. So something sketchy's going on over there, but that's the thing. Peony was previously a gym leader in Galar. Not a big surprise. I feel like there's going to be like something going on with this guy, and it's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of cool. When I first saw him, I'm like, yo, he's going to be Hop's dad, and then it's like, whatever. Whatever happens with Peony, he just seems like a chill dude, and then we're going to have some adventures. So, in the Galarian Star Tournament, you see different dialogues and scenes depending on the characters involved, providing more information about those characters. I'm guessing it's just going to kind of expand a bit more on what we had with Twilight Wings, because Twilight Wings was really cool, since it's like the prologue. Man, my brain is just not working this morning, but it's like the prologue for the Pokemon Sword and Shield games. And then the trainer cards just kind of add more information on top of that. So it's like, now we get to see the interactions between these two guys if they're paired up or something happens, and then it just adds to the lore, because the lore in Galar is pretty cool. I wish there was more of it, or I wish they did something with like the other gyms and then made it to where like all the gyms were available through the Crown Tundra, or at least we got some like minor league battles and stuff. That didn't happen, but either way, they're expanding on the Galar world. That's cool. And then the funny thing is, people are mad. People are like, why are you spoiling? I thought you said you weren't going to spoil. I thought you said you weren't going to cover the leaks, PokeExperto. We're not posting spoilers. All details published in the last hour come from the media preview. It's been officially revealed by Pokemon. Once the embargo is lifted, information just like that. It's like people suddenly forget what reviews are. Video game reviews. Pokemon video game reviews, which happen every year for every game and happened just a few months ago, people are suddenly just going stupid about it for no reason because they're idiots and they're outraged. And that just kind of happens. They added their details to the website, shenanigans, and that's where we're at. So not a crazy amount of information, but enough to talk about to be like, okay, that's interesting. First 30 minutes look alright. Some of the stories look like they're going to be fun. A couple of little extra details to fill in. We saw Dynamax Adventure gameplay recently for Pokenchi. That was also its own big story that had some news behind it. Then we learn a bit more about the other things. It's one of those things, like, it doesn't matter how many trailers the Pokemon Company puts out. It doesn't matter how much gameplay we get. It doesn't matter how thorough a leak is for an early copy of the game and that data mine, all that. You still have to play the game to know everything that's going on inside of it. Pokemon Sun and Moon, I think that's like the perfect amount of information to put out officially, and I don't think it was spoiled or ruined or lessened in any way by the data mine, because it just leaves more questions than answers in a lot of cases. Like, even with this, you know, it's like, alright, how rare is the ability patch? How did we get that? We actually have to experience the game to figure it out, how this legendary mechanic works, how swapping out your Pokemon, if it's worth it, all that other fun stuff, the goods you get from Dynamax Adventures. And, you know, sometimes the information makes it seem better than it is, and then there's disappointment. Sometimes the information makes it seem worse than it is. Like, I'm still hyped for Dynamax Adventures. I'm still hyped for the Crown Tundra. They're like these little disappointments that just feel like, you know, the decisions aren't consistent and they feel really weird. It's like, big why? But maybe, you know, these things actually don't impact Dynamax Adventures as much. Maybe, like, once you catch all the legendary Pokemon, you don't ever want to look at Dynamax Adventures again, and you have enough rewards to where it doesn't even matter. I have, like, 50 ability patches, and, you know, I didn't want a second Mewtwo anyways, so the only one legendary actually doesn't matter. But it is kind of weird. It's like, you get one legendary Pokemon, or you get one of each legendary that's available in your game, and then the feature's done, even though it's, like, one of the main talking points. And there's also a lot of information about the Galarian Star Tournament. Like, we got nothing else in the news cycle. We had 2 trailers about the Star Tournament and getting legendary Pokemon. And then nothing else, like, about Ultra Beasts or the follow-up and any of the things that are, like, starting to be figured out the game or anything else that's in the Crown Tundra. So there's still a lot left to discover. Maybe it's going to be cool, or maybe there's actually, like, not a lot of features when you burn through it. However, a lot of new returning Pokemon, GS Cup rules for VGC, or just GS Cup in general, and then online, and that's competitive. And then see you guys next year for the new Pokemon game that may or may not make all of this work invalidated. You know, who knows what's going on. Either way, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.